Alright, so I'm sitting here in the 172 and I have the scenarios plugin loaded. I'm going to reach over here to my controller, my motion controller. I'm going to start out by reaching up here to the green bar and repositioning this over to the side so it's not in the way of my cockpit. And I can move the mouse cursor out of the way as well. See that? I got nothing loaded. So let's start out by going to the foundation scans. The instructor prompts are currently on. Partial panel is currently off. We can look at the pre-briefing on a website. Let's go to pattern A. I have run this before. Had a score of 96. And let's go ahead and view that pattern. I'll put this pattern maybe right up here because I'm going to be in instrument conditions, so I don't care about that. Alright, so I'm going to be flying along here, north for 1 minute, 090 for 1 minute, 180 for 1 minute, 270 for 1 minute, and then back to north again. So that's going to be that pattern, and I will need to maintain a certain airspeed and, of course, my heading during this time. Alright, let's get this thing started. So I got my diagma yoke here. Flight controls look good. I'm using the using the motion controller to do the flaps and the throttle and all that. And so let's go ahead and reposition into the correct location. Now when I reposition, I'm looking over to here and it's going to misalign my cockpit again. Alright, so I'm going to press the yoke button, which repositions me, and again I need to move that out of the way because when it reloads the plugin as well. So it is currently with the autopilot on, and so it's hands off flying right now, and I am in instrument conditions. That's how the situation automatically loads. So I need to reopen the we need to reopen the foundation scan and reopen pattern A again because it did reload the plugin for that, and I can go to load lesson.
We will now practice flight maneuvers to improve your instrument scan. Position the aircraft at 5,000 feet. Maintain a heading of 360 degrees, 5,000 feet, and 100 knots.
My active task is 5,360 degrees, and it also said 100 knots, but that's what showed here in the active evaluators. So
I will now disengage the autopilot.
All right. And it's going.
You now have control.
There it did.
The evaluation and first leg of the pattern begins after the countdown. Start your timer in 3, 2, 1. Now.
Alright, now it's all me flying this thing. Okay, now instructor prompts turned off for some reason. So I'm going to turn that back on again. Because at this point I want to get the prompts on when to make my turns, because I'm not using a timer right now like I should be. I would typically use that timer right there for that. So, and also let me bring up that pattern again, put that right there in front of me so I can see what I need to do. So I'm primarily focusing on the artificial horizon there and just ever so often glancing at the other instruments. Primarily it is the AI though that I'm putting most of my effort.
Now, start a right turn to 90 degrees for 30 seconds.
And as I roll, I'm adding a little bit of back pressure here. You do lose a little bit of lift. You're in a bank turn. So, and I have a standard rate bank turn here, so that should give me the 30 seconds. Okay, there is 90 degrees.
Now, hold this heading of 90 degrees for 1 minute.
So I did add total time to these as well. So if we were starting the timer at the beginning, we would be able to look at that total time at each stage on this. Okay, I'm going to apply a little bit more back pressure there so I don't descend. And rolling out at 180, that's south. Again, I got a little bit of lift on there when I rolled out.
180 degrees for 1 minute.
Now I'm heading down here on the right side of my pattern. Alright, looks like the left button resets it. So I'm gonna go ahead and reset that again after I roll out. I'm still coming down here on that right side.
Now, start a right turn to 270 degrees for 30 seconds.
And let's restart the timer now.
Now, hold this heading of 270 degrees for 1 minute. Check your heading.
Oh, I got off.
Turn right to a heading of 270.
Oh, I still have 100%. Done pretty good of maintaining my heading. Still have my active heading, altitude, and speed. And it's telling me what my current active task is, 270 for 1 minute. Okay, it's almost 1 minute right now. Right.
Now,
there's my
right
prompt.
turn to 360 degrees for 30 seconds.
360. That's my standard rate, so it'll take me 30 seconds. Whoa, watch that altitude. And there's 30 seconds. Good.
Now, hold this heading of 360 degrees for 1 minute.
Okay, so that'll put me at about 2 minutes and 35 seconds, and that should wrap up the scenario.
Nice job completing the scenario.
All right. And then it kind of brings it to the outside of the airplane. Wraps up.